everybody, and welcome once again to this edition of the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. As you can see, someone's missing, Sam.
Yeah, our guest
Would you like to
is
explain
missing.
things?
Well, it is fall break week, and
that's right. So
people are out doing things with their kids.
Sure, the coaches are busy getting ready for basketball.
So it's just us old timers here today.
I'll tell you, I hope we don't put folks to sleep.
Well, I hope
or we stay awake. Maybe that's probably the important thing.
Fall break, but there seems to be a lot going on.
A lot of things happening. Good things so far for the Spartans. Talk about the ball game with Richmond.
Great ball game. Spartans got off to a good start and never looked back.
Never took the foot off the pedal, as they say.
No, they didn't. And you know, early in the season, we talked to Coach Lynch, and he talked about respect.
Yes.
And he wanted the Spartans to give respect and get respect, and I think that they have. They are 6-4 on the year, and moving on to round 2 at Newcastle next week. But I guess what I mean by that, the other night against Richmond, he could have left some more key players in and probably had shut them out.
Yes.
And they'd been shut out many times during the year. Instead, he put in substitutions, which is a good thing because everybody gets to play that way.
Absolutely.
And Richmond was able to put some points on the scoreboard. And I think that you gain respect from others as a result of those, from other teams, other coaches, as a result of that you didn't run up the score on them.
Right.
It was obvious we were going to win.
Sure.
And it just, of course, anytime you beat Richmond.
I know. That's your favorite, one of your favorites.
One of my favorites.
One of your favorites.
But similar fashion as Game 1 when we played them back in August. Similar score.
Yeah, the opening game of the season in August, yeah. Right. So. What was the final?
I knew you were going to ask me that. It was, I think it was 56-18.
Yes, I think that's right.
Yeah,
right.
I know Richmond had 18. It was easier to count their total than to count ours. But we moved the ball well and defensively played well. Team seems to be peaking at the right time here.
Yes. Well, it's important that some of the underclassmen got to play because these guys are going to be asked to fill 19 spots come next year.
Right, and give them some varsity action to see what that's like. So hopefully this weekend those guys will get to play some more.
Hope so.
Yeah, a lot of shoes to fill next year.
Yes.
I guess we need to enjoy the moment now and continue to develop those younger guys. And I think success breeds success. That we're doing well.
In anything, yes.
The younger guys down the Pee Wee leagues up through middle school and JV can all look at this group of seniors and this group of players and say, I want to be like that.
Yes, that's important. You have to have a program that goes deep into the elementary schools.
And Coach Lynch is working on that. And we've had that, I think, pretty well throughout the years that they've had those, but Coach Lynch gets very involved in all of it at all levels.
Well, that's important because, as you say, that's the future.
Sure is.
It's the future. Well, we wish the team the best of luck come Friday night. Take on Newcastle, a team that has only won 2 season games, and they finally won their 3rd game of the season in the sectional when they defeated Beech Grove. Yeah,
they're 3-7, but really I don't think you can let that fool you when you look at their conference. And we have a tough football conference, but when you look at the ones in their conference, when you think about New Pal, who is undefeated and ranked number 1, Mount Vernon was defeated by New Pal, but they were the defending 4A state champs from a year ago. So you've got them, and Greenfield Central has done very well, and Pendleton Heights. So Newcastle has played in a tough league.
Sure.
But we have too. It's just maybe theirs stands out a little more. But I think we fought the wars too. When you look at the competition, and I know those games didn't turn out like we wanted, but when you think about East Central and South Dearborn and Lawrenceburg,
Newcastle doesn't play those teams.
No,
so
no.
I think they're very balanced, the two conferences. I really do. I really do.
Home field advantage, though, for the Trojans. But we don't have to travel far. You know.
That's good, and the fans can show up, and the kids love to have fans in the stands cheering them on. It's a big point. That's the extra player, I always say.
It is. The Spartan Nation travels well for all of our sports. And so we need a big crowd. If you're watching this, turn out on Friday night. Won't be televised. We will have it on the radio. But
7 o'clock kickoff time at Newcastle.
At Newcastle, yes.
It's
right next to Chrysler Fieldhouse and just to the west side of it there. Got a nice facility. Been updated, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years ago, but it's fairly new.
Be an interesting ball game, and the winner advances on
to the sectional championship, and we'll play the winner of New Pal and help me out here.
Let me think.
Greenfield or
Greenfield Central. Yes, it was 7-3. Yes.
Yeah, right. I should have had that.
But Greenfield's pretty good ball club.
Pretty good, yeah. Yeah, for them to have that record.
Yes.
Playing the same schools that for the most part, except for a couple, but they're non-conference, but playing their conference like that and finishing 7-3 on the season is pretty good.
I think it'll be like most games are determined by who makes the fewer errors. And if Spartans can keep the football and keep it out of the hands of New Pal, they'll be all right.
Yeah. Hard to do.
Yes.
Easy to say.
That's right.
But, and those errors, fumbles and block punts and all that.
It goes into it.
Just kills you.
I'm sure Ryan will have the kids ready to go.
Oh, I think so. He told us Friday night before the game that for the last 2 weeks practice has been really good. So hopefully that continues. I know he was going to give them Saturday off and today off, and thinking that it is fall break and maybe families could get away for a long weekend.
It's a good idea. But as you say, the kids seem to be peaking at the right time.
They are, and there's at this point in the season, there's really not much to change. You got to go with what got you where you are.
That's right. Yeah. Go with the starters that have been successful so far this season, and
the wrinkle that I like, and probably everybody's watched it now, all the teams we may face, but the fake punt, and they've been a couple times been successful with that, and that's just fun when you can catch a team off guard. Now the other night, Richmond tried 2 or 3 times the short kick, and where they were just all huddled up and they turn around and rush and do the onside kick. Didn't work for them.
Well, they were at that point where they could try almost anything because
nothing to lose.
No, the Red Devils did not have a successful season, so.
No, and it's too bad their program has fallen into the state that
yes, it is.
And I blame that on easy transfer now that you can go about anywhere in the state and play without penalty. So I think they've gotten the Centerville program has gotten a lot better.
It has,
and they have grown. And the Northeastern program has always been pretty good. But I think we're seeing some of the kids from Richmond going to those.
I think so. I think
area
that's what's
schools.
Happened. Yes. But they'll come back.
Oh yeah.
I think they've got a gung-ho young coach, and he wants to build a program similar to here at Connersville and get some victories. And we wish them luck because it would be good.
We want good competition.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Makes it more fun when it's fun winning those blowouts, but I like single possession wins as well. Makes it exciting for.
I don't know how coaches approach it. Do they like a big win like that, or do they think the kids learn more by?
Probably learn more by playing
close competition.
Close competition, get you ready for that. But at this point in the season, you take what you get.
That's right, yeah.
Advance, survive and advance, they say.
Well, I'm sure the Spartans will do real well. This week at CHS, Spartan football, sectional at Newcastle at 7 o'clock on Friday. And Saturday, the Lady Spartans basketball scrimmage with Alexandria. That should be an exciting afternoon.
Yeah, 2 p.m. at the Bowl, and be a chance to see this year's Lady Spartans. I was told by one of the young players that seems to be a new attitude, and
good.
that practice so far has gone well.
They open on Thursday, November 3rd.
Yeah, 10 days from the date of this
I think so.
taping of this show.
Right, so that's right around the corner.
My numbers and my countdown's getting
That's
smaller and smaller. Yeah, and wow, what a meat grinder they open with.
Yeah, New Pal. I mean,
New Pal and Ritter and gee, I don't.
They go on the road for four ways right after the opening game.
Yeah, and all tough competition. I think one of them Shenandoah, and smaller school, but we went up there a couple years ago, and it's not easy playing there.
Some kind of a round ball thing at Indianapolis?
Yeah, and it's not really a tournament. I think you just go and play one game.
It's
but there
kind
are
of
4
unusual
teams,
this so early in the season, but I guess the coaches want that, and they find out in a hurry.
All right, find out what
they've got, right.
What you need to,
what needs to
fix.
be worked on. Yeah. Well, I'm sure Michelle will do a great name, Michelle Harder, and she's anxious for the season to begin. So,
and she's finally, you know, the first year she was a late hire, and then the pandemic come along, and so this is really, I'm thinking, her first real year, full year that she's had with the summer program, and
yes,
going into it now as practice has begun.
Well, I hope for an interesting season for the girls, and as you point out, you've talked to some of them, and they have a good attitude.
And really, attitude take you a long way.
Oh, it sure will. That'll win you some ball games. Yeah. I don't know how the JV team's doing, but I'm sure it's coming along okay.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah. Hopefully we can get Coach Harder in here before season gets into it too deep. But love to talk to her and find out what's been going on.
I think they'll probably have a freshman team maybe this year. They have enough students, and then the JV team, and then on down through the middle school. 2 teams down there.
I had the pleasure on Friday night at halftime to have Shayna Sparks-Williams on as a halftime guest, and she is coaching 8th grade girls.
Good.
And excited. She's very excited about that, and thinks that she's got a pretty good team coming along, and she's been with these girls for a couple of years, and is kind of progressing with them. So someone of her caliber, an Indiana All-Star, and part of the Lady Spartans back in the late '90s when they were putting Connersville on the map with girls basketball. So it's great to have her as part of the system.
Sure is. Be on the staff. That's wonderful. Yeah. And the freshman team has a great place to play in this Spartan Arena. It's a very nice gymnasium. So it's a good facility.
Oh, we're blessed with great facilities.
We are. Well, basketball, you know.
Yeah. Well, I don't call it the Grand Palace on Grand for no reason.
We've got 2 Grand Palaces on Graham almost, because Spartan Arena, well, is on Indiana, but it's close enough to Grand. You can keep saying that, Sam. No problem. But I don't know how many girls have turned out for Michelle. I don't have a number yet or anything.
No, we'll be finding out, and we'll find out come Saturday with the scrimmage against Alexandria.
That's a new team to scrimmage with.
Yeah, and I think that's good to play teams from other part of the state that we don't normally get to see.
And a new time. It used to be noon. Now it's 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Which I think is a little better. Fans can come out better, I think. So I don't know of any admission charge yet on that.
I don't think there is for that. But, And I would think that probably season tickets or all sports tickets are still available for those
sure.
that haven't, because the boys, mentioned the girls' first official game in 10 days. Well, it's, the boys is in 30 days, and that's going to be here before we know it as
November
well.
21 this year, I believe, is the date. So it's right around the corner. They should be getting
my favorite day of the year.
They should be getting practices shortly, authorized practice, and early, I should say, the boys. They usually start about 3 weeks before
3 weeks out, I think,
the game. So it's hard to believe that basketball is here.
Yeah, we still got some football to play.
Still playing good football.
But and some of those guys got some key players on the football team. They're also on the basketball team. So it would be nice. We've seen places like New Pal and East Central and different places that had a lot of football success, that they delay the start of their basketball season.
Yes.
And that would be a nice problem to have.
Wouldn't it though?
Yeah.
I think, as you said, we've had that in the past where some teams have had to postpone a game because the football team was still in the tournament running, and that would be great to have that problem.
It sure would. It sure would. But it comes to mind 3 or 4 key players on the football team also play basketball. So, so they're not going to get much of a break here from the end of one season into the other.
Well, I think that's good in a way, because you talk about college coaches coming and they say, I want to look at someone who is multi-sported,
well-rounded.
So that's good to keep their grades up, and they can practice.
Yeah.
Be ready
And grades are the most important, because
sure is.
They are student athletes, and student comes before
That's
athlete.
right. Yeah, that's why they call them student first. Right. That's important. But we have a good group of coaches and kids at CHS. We're really lucky.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Right. Yeah. We might take a look at some of the football results since we've ended the season. The section of Cambridge City is still in the running because they drew a bye on the first week, and this week they do have to play, though they'll be taking on Nicetown Friday at home at Cambridge City. Other games, Union County ended up 4-6. They lost 27-3 to Eastern Hancock, which eliminated them from any sectional play. Centerville ended the season 7-3 after losing 27-7 to Batesville. Franklin County is 3-7. They lost to Indian Creek 37-36.
That had to be a good one.
Yeah, you feel for the Franklin County kids.
Yeah, I mean, you do. Wow, 37-36. You don't see scores like that.
Not very often anymore, no. Rushville was 2-8. They lost 33-13 to Greensburg. Richmond, as we talked about, 0-10. They lost to the Spartans 56-18. So that sort of ended up the area as far as football is concerned, and now all these teams can get ready for basketball.
Yes, they can, and get a little bit of a jump on us, but that's all right, as we just talked about.
That's right. We want the Spartans
we'll do well
to continue on as far as we can go.
Looking for big things. We talked about the girls program, looking for big things again this year from Kerry Brown's team, that he'll have them ready. Been a lot of talk and speculation, and that's all it is, but some people are saying maybe might be a little more up-tempo with some of the players that he's got. I know that Coach Brown does a great job of adapting to the talent that he has.
Does.
And certainly over the years he's been here has gotten the most out of the talent that he has. And because they play as a team.
Sure.
There are no, we haven't had what you call superstars, although we did have Grant Smith as an Indiana All-Star, but he shared the ball well and did the things to make his team have the success that it did, and that's just kind of how it is with all the guys on the team and what way Coach Brown coaches.
I think he likes to have leaders by committee instead of an outstanding one or two. Yeah. It seems that works well for Kerry and everything. And Should be an exciting season.
Yeah, I got a lot of seniors, and much like the football team, there's several seniors that will be on this team, and they've been through the wars, and I know that they'll look for their leadership.
I think so. We want to have the sectional here and have a happier ending than what it was last year with Greensburg sneaking up there and in the final period when they had a big lead. The Spartans had a big lead at the end of 3, and somehow I never have figured out what happened to that ball game in the final 8 minutes.
I'm sure that's been replayed in the minds of those kids and the coaches a lot. But the unfortunate thing, we did have sectional here last year, but it moves back to Greensburg.
Yes, I understand.
And for the next 2 years, which I certainly don't understand. That I do understand that their gym seats about what the bowl seats.
Right.
I just have to say the bowl is more comfortable.
And then you point out that that's a decision of the coaches of the teams that are involved
it's a decision, I don't know if it's coaches or principals or
somebody,
whatever, but the ones that are involved, which is mostly our conference, Eastern Indiana Conference, except East Central.
Yeah, all of them are 3As in
East Central.
4A, so
4A, and I don't want to feel sorry for them, but on the other hand, they have to go to Bloomington and Martinsville.
Yeah,
and
they travel,
places,
don't they, a long ways to play
it's a long haul.
in the sectional. But they can handle that. I mean,
But much like their football sectional, they played Edgewood, and Edgewood, I think, is west of Bloomington somewhere.
Is it?
It's clear over on the other side of the state.
I don't know.
And that's who they drew, but it's just for the size of school that they are, as far south as they are in the state, it's geographically, that's what they have to contend with.
Talk about traveling in basketball. The Spartans go to Washington or someplace on sectional?
Well, on regional.
Regional? Okay.
That's the way it was in the past. Now, I think it'll be different because they've changed it up. The regional was a 4-team, there would be 4 teams in a regional. Now, so they can get more regional champions and have more trophies, I guess. It's a one-game regional, and semi-state then goes to 4 teams, 2 games at semi-state.
So just 2 sectionals will feed into the regional then?
Yes.
Okay.
That's right. So I'm not sure how that works and where those sites will be. Probably, see what they've done, what they did with semi-state, they would still have 4 teams there, but it might be 2 2A teams and 2 3A teams. So they'd have 2 games on the day. So, or mix in a 1A, 2 1As and 2 4As.
Whatever.
So it gets a little confusing, but more opportunities for schools to win a regional.
Okay, well that's good.
When they eliminate that, so, and I wouldn't think I would think travel would be less. That we wouldn't have to go to Washington, although it was a lot of fun going down there.
It's a 3-hour trip.
It's a 3-hour trip.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
It was, that Saturday night it was going on 2 o'clock before I got home.
That limits the number of fans that can attend when it's that far away. So it will make more sense if they do compact the areas a little bit and not make the travel for so long.
Right.
But we will see. The IHSAA, it's hard to figure those people sometimes.
Yeah, they tweak things, and
it's a big
this may have been, and I think way back when they started class basketball, it may have been that way, but I could be mistaken about that. But this is one thing that may be better. Of course, I'll still go back and say that the best thing would be to go back to single class, but that will never happen.
Throughout the class, start over.
Yeah.
Well, that was unfortunate in a way, but I guess again it's to create more winners and more champions.
Yeah, it is. It is. But it takes away the Cinderella teams and the big upsets that before when we had single class, there would be a lot of those.
Yeah, sure.
Several every year, it would seem like, that would knock off a powerhouse, and that made it fun.
Sure did, but and it hurt attendance for a while, but Not here at Connersville.
Not here. I think overall attendance is down, but
I think so.
But here at the bowl, we have good attendance, and we travel very well.
Yes, yes.
And it's always fun when you go in and you got more Connersville fans at a road game than the home team has.
And that's often the case.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was not unusual.
No, it's not. You know, we go to, for instance, to Lawrence North, one of the bigger schools, and one of the yearly powers, and we go up there and take a big crowd on a Saturday afternoon.
We're bigger than the home crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, much
Mm-hmm.
bigger than. I think schools like to play Connersville because of that.
It helps the gate and,
Sure.
And helps the concessions.
But it's interesting how the Connersville fans have followed their teams and support them.
Mm-hmm.
The kids
and,
like
and
that.
they have, and yes, the kids do like that, and it's that extra. It's like having that extra person playing, and I think my recollection going to Spartan Bowl since it opened, that we've always had pretty good crowds. But once we hung that first banner in there with state championship, and then when we got the second one, people never really went away. They just kept coming back.
We had to have two banners to make it look right. I mean,
to balance it out.
Right, on the U.S. flags in the middle. So that's.
When we get that third one, we're going to have to think about how we're going to do
Well,
that.
we'll find a spot for that, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Back to the opening of the basketball for the boys. Union County will be bringing their youngsters, I suppose, on foot.
They dribble the basketball. They have a bunch from Liberty here, and a lot of fun. That's
And regardless of the weather, they do that.
Yes, they do.
I mean, they've done it in inclement weather as well as in nice weather. So you got to admire those kids. I don't know how they select the ones that get to
I don't know. Maybe whoever gutsy enough to do it.
But that's I always enjoy when they come into Spartan Bowl and the Union County fans stand up and applaud them and escort them to their seats and everything. So it's quite a night. There's no night like opening night basketball at Connersville with Union County.
Yes, 2015 we had the commissioner here, Bobby Cox. He wanted to come and wanted to come and witness that, and I think he left impressed. So.
I'm sure he did. Yes, it was quite a show. So it's something that Connersville can really be proud of.
It is, and as I've said, it's my favorite night of the year. It's while we don't have homecoming here in basketball, it is a homecoming because you see all the college kids back home and home for Thanksgiving, and
sure, it's a perfect night.
It's a fun night.
Sure,
fun night to see their friends and see great basketball.
I don't know of any other school that has that kind of an opening.
I don't think so.
I mean, you don't hear of it anyway, and we've had Indianapolis sports writers down here. As you say, Bobby Cox was here when he was commissioner. So anxious to see if the new commissioner comes down to view it. It would be nice.
It'll be good.
Be nice. Right around the corner.
Be here before we know it, 30 days.
But we don't want to forget the other ball.
No. We've got more of that to play as well.
That's right. We want that to continue
and the girls
on.
moving in, and the other winter sports. I bring up about swimming. My grandson Cooper's on the swim team, and talked to him yesterday, and he's excited about what their season can be, and thinks that they could be pretty strong.
And then wrestling and gymnastics all on the horizon. Gymnastics is late, but wrestling will be getting shortly after basketball, I believe.
Right.
So it's and it should be good. It's on its way up, I think.
Oh, I think so.
We've got good coaches at CHS, and we can be happy with them that these people work hard to coach these kids.
They do, and it's a credit to them. They don't get paid a lot of money to do what they do,
they don't.
and with the number of hours they put in, it doesn't even come close to minimum wage.
Sam, I hope you and Dave get a winner on Friday night.
I hope so too. I want to be back here next Monday to talk about it.
So, that'd be great. Spartans and Newcastle at Newcastle on Friday night at 7 o'clock, sectional round 2. Thanks everybody for watching this edition of Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. Maybe we'll have a guest next week. Time will tell. Have a nice evening.